Hi, Attorney Steve Vondran here, licensed practice law in California and Arizona. We're talking today about variances. We have a zoning and land use practice. One of the things we help clients do is to obtain a variance from the zoning ordinances. What's that mean? Well, typically there's a zoning ordinance which will tell you what you can and can't do with a particular property. For example, you may have a property that you buy a vacant lot and the zoning classification is R43. Means, you can only put certain types of residential properties on that zoning. Now, let's say you want to put up a coffee shop. Well, you're going to have to change the zoning on that particular lot of land. So one thing we do is we help in not only do rezoning, but also getting a variance. Rezoning would be to change the zoning classification from the R43 to, say, a commercial use. A variance would be, an example would be, let's say you have the R43 and there's certain setback requirements on how far back you have to build your property, and you're going to do a residential project. But let's say the maximum you could build is like a 5,000 square foot house and you want to build a 9,000 square foot house. Believe it or not, we do see those types of cases. Something that may work for you is getting a variance. And so a variance is a little form like this. This is from the Planning and Development Department in Maricopa County, Arizona, where we do some zoning work. And this basically, as you can see, is just a basic packet that you fill out. You submit your site plans, your pictures of the property, your proposed land use, your elevations, those kinds of things. You make a bunch of copies of this and you basically apply, you pay a fee, and you take this to the Board of Adjustments and plead your case. Tell them what you're looking to do, why you need a variance to basically use and enjoy your land. So that's one thing that we help people do. Now, real quick, I wanted to go over the elements of a variance. There's basically 4 elements that the applicant needs to prove when they're seeking a variance. This is in Maricopa County, Arizona. 1, that there is a peculiar condition of the property. The condition must be related to the property and cannot be things like other properties in the areas or the personal situation of the homeowner. Peculiar conditions are things like hills in areas that are otherwise totally flat, a lot that is smaller than other lots in the areas for reasons that do not relate to the owner or anyone else in the chain of title, lots of unusual shape, etc. So you need to have some peculiar condition of the property. That's 1. 2, in applying for the specific regulation of the ordinance to the particular condition of the lot, results in an undue hardship that can only be fixed by varying the requirement of the ordinance, and they're referring to the zoning ordinance. So you need an undue hardship. As they point out here, if something other than the ordinance causes the hardship, such as easements or CC&Rs, conditions, covenants, restrictions, or the fact that the neighbor has his or her building too close to a lot line, a variance is not appropriate. So there's conditions that may or may not work. 3, that the owner did not create the condition or the lot, condition of the lot or the hardship. So it's not owner created. And finally, even if the applicant can prove these 3 elements, no variance can be granted unless the applicant can also prove that granting the variance will not harm the general intent and purposes of the zoning ordinance. So these are the kinds of things you would hire a land use and real estate attorney like myself to basically review your plans, review the zoning ordinance. What does it provide for? And if you want to get a variance from the terms of that zoning ordinance, fill out your application, present all the required items that they're looking for, and to basically submit and make your case to the Board of Adjustments. So that's one thing we can do. Also, if you have appeals or you want interpretations of the zoning ordinance rules, regulations, you can also pay to get an interpretation. So these are the kinds of things when you're looking to develop property out here in the great state of Arizona and you are looking for a land use attorney, real estate lawyer, someone that can guide you through the process and get you submitted. Give us a call, 877-276-5084, and we look forward, I should say, to working with you. Thank you very much, Attorney Steve Vondran. We'll see you again.